here this weekend with you guys, here we are.
Nice.
I'm Bobby Wayne Stauts, and I'm fortunate enough to be in the middle of these two rather handsome gentlemen.
There you go.
This is the most handsome lineup for sure.
I think it is.
I know the joke. You guys can't see it, but we're all really fucking ugly. I'm talking like bad. Like it's oh my god.
Like we have low self-esteem.
We are. You guys should market this on like Match.com. Like you might fuck one of these dudes, ladies. Come on.
Down to Rick Bronson.
Yeah.
These three dudes.
My final question before leaving the house was, should I put sleeves on?
He actually said that. Yeah, there was a thing, a discussion.
That was a thing.
You know?
Nice.
Well, we didn't warn any of you, right, that we're gonna record the video.
Film it.
Right. Yeah, because I try to make a point of doing it because with the Nikki Glazer one, it fell through, but I forget to remind you guys.
I think Dave needs to put that in the writer or something. Be like, hey,
Well,
you
I didn't
guys,
sign anything, so you guys can't air it. Anyways,
there you go.
By the way, I'm Jack ASSadourian.
Jack.
My first name is
Hey,
Jack,
Jack.
last name's ASSadourian. Yeah, okay, cool, thanks.
Awesome.
I've always wondered that. Did you get
Huh?
Did you get messed with as a kid, Jackass? Because I figured that out like the other day. I've known him for like 5 years, but I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Jackass, ASSadourian.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up real quick. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got picked on a lot, and that's why I use comedy as a defense mechanism until, but I wasn't funny, so I would get kicked out of school because I'd fight teachers and.
Oh, you're that guy, huh?
I was that guy.
You're the one
Yeah.
going right after the
I'm the
teacher.
best at it.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Brother
Well,
did
well
that.
thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, man. It's
Yeah,
fucking
thanks for having
awesome.
me.
Like this is great. How you liking it so far?
I
What do
love
you think
it.
of the new club?
It's awesome, dude. I haven't been here in a while.
In Phoenix, you mean?
Yeah, in Phoenix. I remember I used to work at the Improv over there.
Yeah.
When Mark Anderson was doing it. Rest in
Nice.
peace. And it's good to be back. I love Phoenix, man. This is like a great town. I love doing radio out here.
Yeah.
And I love this club owner is so awesome.
Rick?
Yeah, dude, Rick. I met him through Edmonton because he books he owns that club, you know?
Yeah.
And then he brought me down here, which is freaking awesome. And this condo is so dope, dude.
Are you guys destroying that shit?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone. We took the
Dustin's
furniture
destroying it.
down.
I'm like, he's like, we're like a married couple. Like he messes it up and I clean up after him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the woman.
But I
Dude,
cook.
You gotta follow up.
I'm like, you don't even talk to me. Take me somewhere. Like, well, come on.
That's awesome. Yeah, that thing is fucking awesome, man.
Oh,
That
dude,
place-
it's so great. We went out and we bought some chicken this morning. We were
Yes.
grilling, and
that's a great spot.
we're happily married couples.
I love it. I love it. This is my first time at this club, and I thank you for having me. I appreciate that. I've actually had the privilege of working at other clubs here in Phoenix, and
Nice.
like honestly, I'm not talking bad about any other club, but this is a really great club. It's
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
got a small following here already.
Yeah, I have a little bit of following.
Yeah?
The regulars have shown
Nice,
up.
man.
Yeah, thanks, man. But what's the best thing about this club is like that you guys are the staff's dope. The staff's awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. No,
Those people that are showing up are called drug dealers too. So don't give them too much.
Listen, they're here.
Yeah, come
That's,
on.
yeah, let's
fan
just
club,
yeah,
drug
let's
dealers.
get honest here. man.
As long as they made it, all right.
That's right, man. And at least they brought a drink too, so that's all that fucking.
By 2 drink minimum. I tell them.
Exactly.
Drug dealers.
That's all that matters.
Listen, we buy your drugs, but you have to buy the 2 drink minimum.
And you, man? What about you?
This is a beautiful club.
Yeah.
I live in Vegas, and I can honestly say that this is on par, or if not better than the
Some of the
top tier
Vegas stuff?
clubs in Vegas.
Wow.
So, and I agree with them. The staff's been incredible. Everything I've asked, it's of other comics in the area, they've been incredibly supportive of this place, which
Yeah.
is you don't get that everywhere you go. And it sounds like the owner here is behind comedy 100%.
Absolutely.
So, I've heard him talk or heard people refer to him talking about growing people's material and stuff, and you don't hear that often from owners or bookers. So that's good to hear. You hope there's 100 more out there like him sometime soon.
Yeah, you hear that? Hope you're listening. Rick, listen.
Comic, so
A18.
do you think that helps out?
Without a
Oh
doubt.
hell
your
yeah!
perspective, yeah.
Yes,
He just
yes.
knows the business, you know?
Well, even the layout of the room, the low ceiling, I
Low
mean,
ceiling,
just
yeah, it's
everything.
like a
Like just it's
New York
it's
club.
300, but it's very intimate. 300.
intimate.
I mean, this doesn't look like it holds
I love the
300
video
by
in the
any means.
beginning before the show starts.
Oh,
Like,
the
it's just
nun
like-
and
just-
stuff going crazy.
Just to get
just-
them like
build the
going, like
energy.
just
Yeah.
like letting them know that we're gonna curse and like there's
Yeah,
it's
just
a
hang out.
show like when they're showing a movie clip. It just lets you get you going, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes it easier to host, definitely.
Fuck
But-
yeah, man.
We didn't have that on Wednesday.
Oh, you didn't?
Wednesday, no, I remember.
Yeah, there was some
Technical, yeah.
There's
What
something
happened?
going on with the soundboard. I thought someone was fucking with it, but I think it's like every time you reset it or turn it off and on, sometimes it resets some of the settings.
I
And
fucked
for the
it
video,
up. I messed it up.
Yeah,
I was watching
I saw
porno
you
on
in
it
there.
before the show started.
We're actually watching 7 different porns.
Yeah, you know.
Just pushing up.
Yeah.
Where's the porn button?
Yeah.
Which one of these?
So how'd you guys get all linked up then? How was this book then?
This is kind of crazy. We all have known each other, but it's kind of random how we're working here. I was with Jack the other week. And
Last
he's like,
week
yeah,
at a
he's
bar
like,
drinking.
He's like, can I come MC for you in
Like,
Phoenix?
I
I know
yeah.
a bunch of people, you know. I can
Yeah.
bring a bunch of people. I'm like, okay, yeah.
And I was
Really
like, man,
good.
shut up. You're full of shit. I don't believe you.
And I
he's
kind of
like-
was,
He
but
was full
yeah.
of shit. So like you were drunk talking, you know, yeah, man,
Yeah,
I do this
you
for you. And
know?
I'm like, dude, and I was like, I know 1 million people. Whoa.
Yeah.
And then the next thing he calls me is like, yo, man. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I was like, hey, man. Well, he didn't answer at first. And I was like, I should just tell him he didn't get booked. You know? Just for not answering. What a dick move, right?
And but the way he told me, hey, man, yeah, you got the spot. And I was like, shut up. And I hung up on him. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't fucking believe you.
Yeah.
It's the last minute. And then it worked out. So that's how I'm here.
That's fucking crazy, man.
You
Yeah.
see how
That's
often
awesome.
that happens by his reaction. Shut up.
Seriously.
And then Bobby, we met like I had a gig in Vegas like a couple months ago. And I got dropped off in the wrong place. Okay, so I'm walking down the street with my girlfriend aimlessly in Vegas.
Nice.
Probably not a great neighborhood.
Yeah, they're right across from the airport on Sunset, and I'm actually going to see him. I've never seen him perform before, so I was like, "Rad! I get to see him at a small Vegas show. This is gonna be badass." And as I'm cruising down there, I'm like, "That's the guy I'm going to see, walking the wrong direction."
Yeah, you can't miss the hair.
So now, in my head, I'm trying to figure out how do I go back there and be like, "Hey, man, get in the car." Without sounding like any, I can't be like, I've seen you on TV. Nope, that's weird. Hey, Dustin, shit, that's weird. So I was just like, hey, man, I'm going to rush hour. And while he's trying to figure out whether or not to get in the car, his chick's already in the back seat, like locking
Yeah,
in. Like,
I'm
let's
like,
go.
what the hell,
Get the fuck out of this heat, man.
Strange
Yeah.
story, man.
So, yeah, and then
Yeah, so I hopped in. He looks kind of like my older brother, so I was like, all right, I'll
trust this guy.
him. He might not kill
He's
me.
a teddy bear.
that's
Did you
the
have sleeves at the time?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I made that decision before I left the house. It was like,
I would have got in.
Oh yeah, the sleeves would have been a deal breaker.
Well,
He
your
was-
girl got in
Yeah.
first. Why she was like,
Yeah, she's like,
I don't want to walk.
She's the beacon,
She's the
man.
name for guys with no sleeves.
I don't want you two hanging out this weekend. Okay? I'm saying.
yeah, no. So it was cool though. That was an interesting way to meet somebody. And then he's been back to Vegas a couple times, and
Yeah.
he's been cool as shit ever since then. And then was fortunate enough to be booked the same weekend as him. So it was
That's
like
awesome, man.
a pretty cool little reunion.
Yeah, a little
Last
network
week,
and stuff. Yeah.
We did a show and Hannibal Buress showed up over in Vegas. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just
His
showed
pictures
up.
on the wall, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's
Next to Bill Cosby's.
That's what I was gonna say. He's been, he's spearheaded that whole Cosby thing, right?
What are you gonna do? Bill Cosby's done.
He's done,
Someone
man.
had to-
That
Jack had a
sucks, too,
theory
man.
about
I had a
that. What was your
theory.
theory,
Let's
man?
hear
Did
it.
you guys see the Skeleton Key, the movie?
No,
Skeleton
I
Key?
don't think I have, no.
Okay, well, it's like a voodoo thing. Basically, like when someone ages, they want their soul to go into a younger body. So I think Bill Cosby aged and did some voodoo, and his soul is in Hannibal, so he ruined Bill Cosby. Like that's what.
Yeah, he was like,
that's
okay,
what I
how
think
can I
happened.
use
That's
this?
what I think happened. 'Cause nobody
as
knew
plausible
Hannibal
as anything
before.
else.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
I fucking love it, man.
Yeah,
That's
black
awesome.
people in voodoo. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think those are Haitians, man.
Whatever, it's black. You know what I'm saying?
It's all the same thing.
That's
yeah.
so funny. Every race does have their own
Yeah,
little voodoo
yeah,
shit, huh?
sure. Remember Indiana Jones, that little kid, like,
Oh yeah, look at it. They've got that. The Mexicans with the Mexican ojo and
Ojo,
yeah,
yeah.
Santeria. That's
Evil
what
eye,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I lived in South Texas for a while, and I was driving out to where I'm staying, and a white owl flew in front of me, and I was like, "There's some Mexican folklore around this shit. I think I'm gonna be dead soon. I don't know.
Something somewhere.
Like,
Something is up.
what is this? What is this?"
White owl.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So are you guys all from Texas, or you are, right, originally?
Yeah, I'm originally from Dallas. That's where I started
Dallas.
stand-up,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man. And you?
I'm originally from Mississippi, but I ended up living in Texas for about
For a
a
while.
decade.
Yeah. And you are you
I'm
Texas?
from LA, Los Angeles.
So you're born and raised, huh?
Born and raised, but
Man.
yeah, I think I'm the most ethnic one in the group.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you're like
Yeah.
you're Mexican, but you don't know your father, right?
Yeah, but he's Mexican. I
What do you
know
know
that much.
You know that. Okay, cool. And you?
I'm white, but wish I didn't know my father.
He's white. And I'm my mom's Mexican and my father's Lebanese Armenian.
Oh
So yeah,
shit, man.
scary.
Yeah. You're not a guy to fuck with, man.
Airports don't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
That got me thinking. Have you guys seen that human genome thing? Like they had some breakthrough the other day. Like
Really?
Yeah, where they're like they can take genes out. And I was thinking, what if they take like someone from like each race, you know, like a DNA strand or whatever the hell it is. I'm no scientist, you know, but they put them all together and make this like super person, man. That'd be pretty dope, huh?
What color do you think they'd be?
I don't know, like blank, like
Clear, transparent.
Man.
oh, every color. You'd be rainbow. That'd be nuts. You'd be
gay,
like Captain Planet. Yeah.
It's like an heirloom tomato, heirloom people or some shit. That's the new seed, the new breed.
Well, that's fucking crazy to think about, though, and just like genetically modifying people. Like even with fruits, you know, like those grapes, like those fucking apples that taste like.
Yeah.
Have you had
There's
those?
a lot of those things now.
It literally tastes like a fucking pixie stick, though.
Yeah.
What?
Like, yeah, it's an apple. It's supposed to taste like a grape, but it ends up just tasting like fucking sugar. So I'm sure.
Like a margarita with that.
Fucking yeah, exactly. But
Who's the
crazy as fuck doing that with people, though. Think about that.
Who's
I
the
don't know.
first scientist that's gonna find the small penis gene and delete it? You know, it's like I'm doing this for mankind. This is for my sons.
We do know this. I read the same article he read, I think, and,
Yeah.
it was scientists in China. So I think you might be on to something, bud.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, how do you guys know each other?
Well, we started. We just started working at this club, and then we were just like, well, let's do this. Like, I mean, it was kind of my idea behind it was just to educate the Phoenix area. I mean, I don't know who the fuck's listening to this or not listening to it, but the idea was just, I mean, to educate, you know, like the comedy scene, because it's a big scene here. I mean,
It's huge.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, there's 5 clubs now, and it's just like it seems like it's growing. So, I mean, yeah, we were like, well, let's give it a shot, you know, and see where it goes. We don't fucking know. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
that's kind of the nice thing about it. There's no like end game to it. I mean, I guess we probably should have a goal.
Well, it's to me, it's the this is
It's
all about you
promotional.
guys.
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
exactly.
Like,
we wanted to.
I heard someone say on another podcast, like every club should do, and we had this idea, I think, since the club opened.
Yeah.
Like,
Does
we
this
should
go
have a
like on the
podcast.
website or what? How does it
It
work?
will at some point. We're
Okay.
kind of
Well, this
working.
is brought to you by Coca-Cola, guys.
Yeah, get the
Start
sponsors.
plugging away and sponsoring. Yeah, exactly. So it's been fun though. I mean, we've been able to just hang out, you know, and fucking get to
Yeah.
know people.
Has
and
has a comic been like, no, I'm not gonna do it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Wait, well,
You
actually, it
don't have
wasn't
to
the
say
comment.
who
It wasn't the comment. It was the agent that like
Oh,
wouldn't allow them.
yeah.
Like, so it's kind of just.
That
some-
means it was a comic, though.
Probably.
They're just
Probably,
like, oh
yeah.
man, I don't want
Probably.
to look like a dick. Can you just?
Yeah, well,
do
that and like I'm
Comedy.
sure. I mean, you probably know better than me, but like I'm sure you get into some of these situations where like the people you talk to are just fucking like. There's nothing to talk about, you know what I mean? Or it dies pretty quickly, or it's just really
They're like, why are we
superficial,
here?
weird shit, you know?
It's
just
always
like,
weird, like going to a town and like a new comic comes up. He's like, "Hey man, can you do my podcast on
Right.
Sunday?" And I'm like, "Oh my god,
No,
I'm gonna do
man.
like 4 episodes,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be one." You know, so
But
it's like,
you're like chill enough that you'd probably do it. I mean,
I would.
Yeah, and that's
I'm just-
awesome, man.
No, it's not. I
No?
help people move. I hate it, dude. I just say yes. I want to be a nice guy. It's
you
never
like
gonna pay off. but I'm just
Well,
like,
it has
okay.
to some extent, though. It has for you at this point, hasn't it? I mean, how did your career evolve?
Yeah, it definitely has.
Just because saying yes,
yeah,
right?
Because I was gonna say, yeah, I've been helped out by so many people. Whenever I first moved to New York and like got the agent, and, like things started happening, I wasn't even supposed to be up there for a long time. But I went on the road with Jimmy Walker, and I'm like, dude, I'm going up to New York to do like a stand-up for diversity showcase. You know anywhere I can crash? And he's like, let me see what I can do. And he calls his ex-girlfriend, this like old Jewish lady, and she's like super cool. She lets me just stay there.
Just
Man,
hang out.
Just stay in New York
Nice.
the whole time. I stayed there for like months, and it was like
Just on the couch or what?
Yeah, just on the couch,
guy on
and
the
it was
couch.
like it was so cool.
You know you snuck in there.
That's what everyone says. Like you
Yeah,
probably
you
had to
did.
bang her.
I
And I didn't
would've.
have to, but I did because it's the right thing to do.
It's
you
a
know?
gentleman,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
Jimmy was the guy. His punchline was the dynamite thing. Right?
Dynamite.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Hell
I
yeah,
want to get
man.
him to say it for me one day. I've known him forever too, and I just want to ask him, just like,
Can I
right?
take that, man? Can I just?
Yeah.
Can
He's
that
on
be my
his
thing?
deathbed. I'm like, Jimmy, just do me one favor, bro, please. Damn it, E-Man.
Oh yeah, man. So then, what brought you out to LA? Then it was just a natural course of things.
Yeah,
After New York.
I was in New York and I did like a MTV pilot and like a couple MTV pilots, I just did different things here and there. I got a commercial and I got to LA because there was this like pilot I tested for and they flew me out. And so when I got there, I was just like, I'm gonna stay just because this is where, you know, Hollywood is and all that showbiz shit. So And I think I was watching Entourage at the time, so I was like, yeah,
Fuck yeah, this is my life.
Yeah, I was all my friends. You're the E, and I'm the turtle. That sucks when you know you're turtle. You're like, damn it.
That's awesome, man. So, what do you think of LA thus far? You
I
liking
love it, man. Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool. You got to be in either New York or LA. I feel like for like entertainment. So unless you're like special or you have the hookup, which is, some people can do that, and it's freaking awesome. But like, I know I would love to be in Dallas, but I know nothing's gonna happen for me out there. So
why do you love with Dallas?
Because that's where my home is. That's where I'm from. Like,
you'd
LA's
rather be
so
back.
douchey, bro.
But I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you.
I know you will miss me.
Well, how would you compare the two from New York and LA? Your experience?
They're both awesome. They both have really great comics. Some of the styles are different. You know, I don't know. What did I notice? I remember when I first moved to New York, I noticed people do a lot of crowd work here. A lot of crowd work. You know, and LA seems to be, but it's like good stand up. It's good stand up in New York, and some of LA is a lot of. It just feels different. It's like a red faced clown and a white faced clown. You know, one's just like both of them are funny, but like LA is more like in your face, like you know, like a lot of act outs and stuff.
Yeah, we have talked to a few New York comics on the podcast, and they seem to be like more blue collar comics. Like they're just about the work, like writing and performing.
Or no collar.
Or no collar. Yeah. What about Vegas? I'm really curious about their scene. Like, what do you think?
It's a very tough scene. I hate it at the same time. I love it because it forges a very unique comic. I feel like being in Vegas, because here, you know, let's say we were doing the show, a bar show here. All we have to contend with is booze and maybe a sports game.
Right.
But when you're doing one of these shows at a bar in Vegas, you've got gambling to deal with on top of that. So there's table games, there's slot machines.
Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
Exactly. All the other crazy shit going on.
Yeah, we're constantly in the shadow of the Strip. So it's taught me definitely to have work ethic, to get people to come out.
That's interesting.
And it's taught me to really grow my material, to keep the same people coming out. So I've had to have a lot of material on hand because it's hard to get people. Like I said, we're in the shadow of the Strip. So we'll never, no matter how good my jokes are, I'm never going to be as good as somebody doing 18 front flips off of an 80-foot platform. I'm just not. So.
Yeah, that's really interesting to think about. So you just have to build content then.
Yeah, you have to build
relevant.
content. You have to constantly do new stuff because for the most part, we have a small, loyal following. And then, like, when people like him come to town, we get a lot of new people that come out. So that's where you're like, all right, I want to pull my best shit out.
Right.
So, maybe a few of his people will come back out the next time I'm here.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, like, again, everything goes right back to the Strip. The bars don't care about us because, if the show gets too loud or we get too many people, we run off gamblers.
Right.
And one gambler will sink $2,500 into a machine. The whole show is not going to bring that much in.
Yeah.
So it's a unique thing. And so when I go to other towns, I have to learn to slow down when I'm telling jokes because, I get in that just fast pace trying to keep their attention.
Shoot them off, yeah.
I got to beat greed, in Vegas. So
there are a lot of clubs out there, right? Or
almost every casino has a comedy show.
Really?
They do, but a lot of them are difficult to get into because you have, I think it's something like 30 million people a year that come through Vegas. So they don't need to bring in new talent on a regular basis because it's never the same crowd.
Right.
So once they get their rotation, you're just basically waiting on somebody
On a
to
wait
die.
list.
Yeah.
Vegas is a weird spot, man.
But it's also a blessing if you can get into those shows. Like you're performing in front of people from all over the world.
Right.
So like if you can make them laugh, you can go into any club anywhere across the country and you kill. Because it's like when you do Vegas shows, it's like you got people from here, there, and it's just about having fun, having a good time. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Out of the comparison, have you done New York and LA too?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? I mean,
I agree with him. New York is a little more like, to me, LA. You can tell that 90% of the comics are trying to either showcase how good of a writer they are to end up writing for a show, or how good their act outs are to show that they can act on a show. Whereas a lot of New York comics are they're dyed in the wool. I'm going to die a comic.
Stand-up is my life.
Yeah, no matter how many movies I do, I'll still be doing stand-up. Like, you see that out of a lot of them. Kevin Hart still does stand-up and doesn't have to.
Right.
So that's kind of what I see out of the difference. But they're both funny. You got some LA guys that'll make you rethink the way you do everything. And you got some New York guys that make you feel like you ain't digging deep enough into your own psyche to really, go into the stuff. So I love it. I love the differences, and I love trying to be different than that, trying to be, because Chicago's got a totally different feel than either one of those cities. And they're putting out some unique comics as well.
And in Boston, have you guys done Boston as well?
I have not.
We're doing that in, week after next.
Boston?
Yeah,
Is that your first time?
Yeah, it's gonna be my first time there. I did NACA there, this college showcase, but that was just a quick in and out thing. But this is gonna be like real like Boston crowds.
Cool.
Go park the car in the bar and the stop.
Oh, my girlfriend's family lives out there, so
are you nervous? Are you ready?
Oh, dude, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, nice.
They're cool people, but they already saw me on stage once, so I was freaked out about that because I'm like, oh man, what if I bomb and they see me and they're like, oh, your boyfriend, he's unfunny, you know? That'd be the worst. Like, it's another thing. It's like your boyfriend's kind of an asshole. It's like he's not funny. It's like no, I can't do that.
You can never erase that either.
Yeah. My daughter's not gonna be with an unfunny motherfucker. Please, you know what? So it's gonna be a fun time.
Oh yeah, man. What about San Francisco? Have you guys done up in there?
Yeah.
Is that kind of its own little world? I've heard different things about it.
It is.
I feel like it is. I was just in San Francisco back in November, and they have a very talented group of people coming up through there too. Yeah. And you know, they're basically what you would expect out of San Francisco. It's kind of like the Austin of the West. They're a little more artsy about what they do, but there's some really good comics that I've seen come out of there.
They are artsy. I was gonna say that. Yeah, they're hilarious, but it's got that artsy. It's like the Austin, San Antonio. Not San Antonio.
But the crowds are like the same. I don't think it's nothing really different out there. It's just
the crowds are strong.
Sacramento.
They support.
My baby mom was from that area.
Bitch. So you got a woman now, huh?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Cool.
I had heard your interview with the Meat Vegan guys over at TMI. Those guys are fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he's the shit, man. And it was just funny. I was listening to that story about the lady that you tried to win back in, was it Dallas?
Yeah.
And you just really went like fucking crazy trying to win her over.
I gotta get her back. I came up with a bit afterwards.
Oh, did
I gotta
you?
get her back. I do something heroic. I gotta light her house on fire. There's a rescue her from a burning building. Damn it, I fucked it up. Oh well.
You already fucked up the own bit. That's awesome, man. It's good. So you got a woman though now, huh?
Yeah.
How's that going?
And I call her that too. I'm like, woman.
Hey, woman.
You are mine.
I own you now.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. Did you meet her out in LA or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's fun. Yeah. Jack has a woman. He has a woman.
You're telling everybody.
Right.
I know. Oh no. You're right.
I only have a woman in LA.
I know.
When we leave, we break up. You know, I got sick or something happened. I have a main chick and I have a side chick.
Nice. I like
Do
it.
you guys work together all the time? Like,
Well, we live in LA, so I see Dustin at least 3 times a week. We're friends more than we're
you just hang out.
colleagues, whatever you want to go.
Colleagues. Oh man, that made me feel like whoa. I feel like I should have like some glasses and like.
But I just met Bobby, so I'm gonna be in Vegas Memorial Day weekend,
Nice.
so I'm definitely gonna see him. So yeah.
Another buddy, huh?
Thinking about moving to either New York or LA?
I'm actually, my lady friend and I have been considering moving to Phoenix because it's a very strong scene down here, and I feel like it would be a good step in between either one of those two, because I could get a lot more work in this area, whether it be club work or just bar work in general.
Yeah.
I could be busy more nights a week in front of different crowds. So we've talked about moving down here, but luckily I'm fertile and so is she. So that's kind of put a wrench in that plan for a couple years. So at least 1 year. That's
The three of you have the best choice of words. Lady friend, I'm fertile. What else? You said something else about
Woman.
Yeah,
woman.
Some weird
Bitch.
words.
You know that works sometimes too.
See, that's I don't know about. I don't know about moving from one comedy town to another comedy town that's not New York or LA for some reason.
Yeah.
That's always like, because I know in New York or LA you're gonna have. It's like being in the lottery. Something could happen.
Yeah.
You never know. You just have more
throwing
of those.
your hat in,
Someone from in the industry. I got an agent. You know, you can get shit like that. And I don't know.
I mean, like with New York, you can get up on stage like 6 times a night.
Yeah, that's what these
Everyone
guys are
said.
talking
Yeah.
In LA though, like you get up like maybe once a night, but you still go on auditions all the time.
Right.
In New York, you still go on auditions, but you to become a better comedian, I think in New York is way better than LA, right?
Yeah,
to be a comic.
Yeah. And I think it's like your fire and desire. And you want to be a better. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's probably so
spreading the
many
news. You know
aspects.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with you though. It almost feels like a lateral move. You know what I mean? But it's a town like Phoenix, like Vegas. I've had a hard time building a following, and I know it sounds like sour grapes. Every time I bring that up, somebody's like, maybe you just ain't funny. Maybe you're right. But if you got to come see me to make that determination.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And a town like this, anytime I come to Phoenix, I've got friends that'll come out.
support you.
So that's been the difference. So that's what's kind of like made me think about that. But yeah, I agree. Cool. It would feel like a lateral move more than moving forward.
I had a buddy who did that. They were always Austin was our place in Texas. It was like, okay, first we're from Dallas and let's move to Austin. Then from Austin here, it's like let's just go to the end,
Yeah, just go to the place.
Yeah, let's warp zone some shit.
Extreme and see what happens. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well, It's I feel like you get thrown out there, and it's like, well, okay, I have to swim. So
it sounds like that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
just come in. You can crash on my couch.
We'll make you breakfast.
Yeah.
Get a couple of sleeves.
We'll clean you up, and there you go, man.
The sleeves. That's not even another shirt.
The sleeves.
You guys have no idea how disappointed I am that Larry the Cable Guy beat me to that whole sleeveless thing.
Oh, and he's not even real about it. Like, that's you. You are.
That could totally be you, man.
The only time you see pictures of me with sleeves on is either on stage or formal event. Somebody died, some shit like that. Other than that, I'm like this.
Yeah, we should buy him some socks and cut the hole and put it in.
That's a good idea.
Looks like that one waitress at IHOP when has like the no tattoo policy. You ever seen that?
Yes.
They just put the sock over the arm. Like we know what's either you're a burn victim or you have tattoos. And either way, it's awkward.
Oh, I hate
NBA
that
too,
shit.
right? Like, is that why those guys wear those big things? I don't follow sports, but I see. Right?
No, it's like
that's like healing, right?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a healing proproperty or something?
It's a compression sleeve.
Oh,
you talking about what the athletes wear?
Yeah.
It's a compression sleeve.
it's part of the Illuminati.
We all know that's what it really
Black
is.
people.
If you look where the elbow sticks out, it's a triangle. That's how you know
I knew it. Talk about LeBron's forehead. Come on, guys.
Oh man, I saw that the other day. You guys see LeBron James's head, man?
No,
Apparently,
what happened?
I guess he got
Growing
hair
hair
plugs.
again or
Yeah, it's like something
Hair
fishy's
transplant.
going on there.
Just
I took
right
he took hair out of his ass and put a hair transplant on his forehead.
All right, number one, I'm on LeBron James' side. I'm in the middle of 4 of the most gorgeous heads of hair I could possibly be around right now, and I'm going bald. So fuck all y'all. If he wants to get transplants, he can afford it. Damn it, let him do it.
That's what I thought about when he said the getting rid of the little dick gene. I thought second would be the hair loss gene.
Yeah.
Get rid of that thing.
Totally.
But then what are we gonna do? We're gonna keep eliminating things. So everyone's fucking Thor. Yeah, everyone's Brad Pitt walking around.
Brad Pitt's so hot. Anyway, listen, guys.
You know there's going to be one racist ass scientist when they hit the end of the road. They're like, "What's next?" And he's like, "Mexican."
We've isolated the Mexican chromosome.
It would be be the Hitler of genetic process.
Who's gonna fix the United States?
That'd be weird. Oh
That'd be a
man.
guy like that was just into other guys, and then we don't need women either.
He's out of control.
Fucking crazy. Yeah,
Just some gay racist scientist. I like how this is adding up.
Dark quick.
That's awesome. Some redheaded guy cuts him off on the freeway. All right, motherfucker.
Ginger. Have you? I gotta ask you, man. Have you done the Comedy Store at all?
Yeah.
What would you
In
think?
LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hang out there
All
lot.
the time.
Yeah,
that is the place to be for comic or what?
Yeah,
or is it just?
it's like a fraternity over there, dude.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's
It's like you got to get accepted by like the gods to get in there. Like, you can hang out there.
I just hang out. Yeah, there's a lot of friends
Like,
over there.
yeah,
So it's a good place. It's a central
It's like
location.
you got to take time to get past over there. Like, we hang out, we do spots there all the time, but we're not paid regulars there.
Oh,
Are you
really?
paid regular?
No, not at all. I remember one time. It's so funny because the manager that was there, he was the first manager that headlined me at the Improv and out here, and he works there now. So I was like, oh hell yeah, I am
I got the
in.
hookup.
And like nothing happened. And then I asked him one day, I'm like, man, what's happened? He's like, man, I got so many people. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like, you got to think. You're going up out there.
It's like a college. It's like 500 comics there.
Yeah, and they're all, everyone's got a TV credit. Everyone, it's like, you look at the list and you're like, okay,
You
well,
literally
I
have
shouldn't
to be like
this.
on like major roles to get like paid. Like
Yeah, it's like
You
Judd
get paid
Apatow's
good.
on your show.
Yeah, Judd
And
Apatow.
you know, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
crazy.
okay.
Do you still have
you
to go
say
through the the process with Mitzi? Is that still?
She doesn't.
not there.
Yeah,
She's
neither
done,
does
or-
Tommy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Tommy's not there, and it's
Yeah,
Adam.
he
now.
was Tommy. Yeah, Tommy was the guy that was there for the longest time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a new manager now, Adam.
So she has nothing to do with it anymore.
much,
She
no.
said fuck it.
Never there. I've never met her before.
That's crazy. Okay. Because last time I was out there, I won the lottery out there to do
the
it for a
open
little
mic?
bit. Yeah. For the open mic, and like she was there in like fucking 5 minutes. I mean, you're out,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you get the
yeah.
red light, or the
No,
face, So
we do like I do like the friends and family shows and the Monday night shows and then like the belly room Thursday night. It just varies,
yeah.
There's an MC
But, like,
buddy that'll get you
yeah.
on. And
that's kind of the
But we
the
do
way.
play all the LA clubs, so
Nice.
it's fun.
Yeah,
That's what we do. And bar shows are fun too.
And that's like you have to come with the fame to get accepted there. Is that the thing?
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
In Hollywood?
It helps, yeah. I would say because there's so many people out there. It's the world, land of
It's the-
actors. Everyone goes there to make
Yeah.
it, so it's
But
like,
I'm
damn.
trying to think like how do they develop comics and
They don't
essentially they're just taking
The
established
the
people. It's like,
employees,
okay, you can
employees, these are the employees.
Yeah, the
There's
people that
employees
work there, they get
there,
developed.
They
and
get
stuff,
stage time.
yeah.
Like you work there, like you do the door, you do this, you do
Yeah,
that,
you
and
know-
they give you time.
And like
hear
awesome
about-
comics come out of there.
Ari
Yeah, it's a great
Shaffir
comic.
was just talking about that, right? That
Yeah.
he worked there and he lived like right down the street.
Yeah.
Now there's a billboard of him
Yeah,
right
yeah.
by where he used
And
to
that's
work.
awesome. That's the thing. If I started doing comedy in LA, I guarantee I would have gotten a job at the Comedy Store. Because that's what I did in Dallas. I got a job
Yeah.
at the
At the
local
Comedy
comedy
Store,
club and just
yeah.
started like doing,
Working.
that's what you do. You just I feel like whenever you start comedy, you have to completely dive into that shit. Like get a job, hang out every night. You know,
Yeah.
you got to put the
Be a
blinders
waiter,
on.
bartender,
Be consumed by it.
Yes.
sell
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Did you? So I mean, growing up in LA, I mean, and starting your comedy career, I mean, what'd you do? Is that what you did? You were working
I
at a club?
hustled. I did work the club, but the
Yeah.
thing is, this is my whole story. I started comedy about 5 years ago. Once I got a divorce, and because I wanted to go to therapy,
Yeah.
and therapy was too expensive. So, but my family actually owns a comedy club in LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Haha Comedy Club in LA.
Oh, shit,
My parents
okay.
own it, so never wanted to do comedy because I had no interest in it. But once I had some deep personal problems, I was like, I need to talk about this on stage.
He got all emo, like I gotta
I looked for
express
Dustin. I
myself.
looked like Dustin for a second. My hair was long.
Yeah.
I was sad, you know. But yeah, that's how I got into comedy, and then that's pretty much the rest is history. Now I'm here with you guys.
Yeah, man.
We're making it.
We're doing a podcast at 3:00 in Arizona.
Arizona. Well, one thing I want to talk about, and we always, are very interested is the writing process for you guys. Like, what is your process? Do you, block out X amount of time and say, I'm going to write for this, or do you just say?
I try to do that sometimes.
Are you
I try
that
talking
disciplined?
to friends. That's a big thing. And sometimes, like, I will take time and sit down with my notebook and just, if I don't have any new thing I'm working on, I'll just look at my set and try to reconstruct it into it's like, okay, I gotta, what's a good order for this shit, you know? Or I'll just like, the way I come up with new jokes is I'll just, something funny, I'll just test them out on my buddy. I'll just say something will sound funny in my head, and I'm like, oh, isn't it crazy how this happens or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, then I put it in the pad, and then I do it on stage.
Then you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it just depends on what I'm talking about. If it's something kind of goofy, then I'll go on stage with just whatever I've thought about so far and wing it. I know that sounds a little unprofessional, but being put on the spot is what makes me, kind of like, it puts the pressure on me. That's how I started telling jokes as a kid, being nervous.
Right.
I had to get myself out of a fight, and I couldn't fight, so let me talk more shit than he can, and that's where it came down to, they'd be afraid to fight. So kind of putting the pressure on myself makes me do it on stage. I don't mean somewhere like here, but I'll go to an open mic with the idea and just roll through it. And, I'll use my whole time on one idea, and just I'll
see
work
how
it out.
Goes. Yeah.
And I get real
interesting,
time feedback. But if it's something political, then I really try to sit down and spell it out, because if I go the wrong direction, then I look like a total ass.
Yeah.
And then I can't. It's too hard to defend it at that point. So I try to be really well thought out if I'm being political. But if I'm just doing some goofy stuff, then let's just let it ride and see where
Throw
it goes.
it out. And, let
See,
it
that's
ride.
my problem. All my jokes are goofy, and I'm very animated, I'm retarded. Like I'm crazy. Like all my jokes are true. Like everything I say is true. It's happened to me, and I just do it.
It's just experience.
It's just like I did this
All
last
those
night.
women.
All those women, all these ex-girlfriends, these crazy.
You a womanizer?
psychos.
You a womanizer, man?
They use me.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're the broken one, huh?
I'm just a slut. Sorry. But no, I wish I went to college like this guy. Like, he just sounds way more professional than I do. I sound like, hey, what's up, fool? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Political, and I'm like, I don't know about it. Political charcoal.
I never went to college. I went to tech school to learn how to paint cars.
Yeah, for a second I was like, hang on a
He
second.
still went somewhere, though.
Thank you.
You went to college, dude.
I went to...
That was ITT Tech.
I went to continuation school. I finished like everything in a half hour. Like, it was awful.
They still have commercials about that, man. That's
Yeah, I have been
legitimate
UTI.
school.
It's a waste of fucking money.
Fix my car, bro.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be more prestige. Like I went to Yale for a few years. I fucking dropped out. I really thought it was gonna be something cool, but
the character, it totally opened your eyes.
I forgot this video. I thought they just there's video. He has no sleeves on. Never mind.
Yeah. For the record, there was a show on Discovery or Nat Geo called Redneck Rocket Scientist, and they would actually build shit that worked. So
nice.
I felt vindicated for a little bit. But
What does vindicated mean?
Spell that.
Kind of like validated.
Vindicated. That's you go see a Vin Diesel movie and it feels good and you're like, yeah, vindicated, man.
Shave my head. And
Hey, I was vindicated today.
Vindicated.
do you guys think that it's shit on a little bit, like going to? Because you mentioned going to open mic nights to kind of work stuff out, and one of the local comics was talking to me about that the other day, and I was like, yeah, you should fucking. Of course you should. He was just mentioning it kind of in passing, like, yeah, I think I should like go to open mic and work out some stuff. I'm like, of course, why? To me, it seems logical, but I'm not a fucking comic. So what's the deal with that? Is there
my whole beef with open mics is like people, these new comics go to open mics looking for laughs. Most open mics are just comics or writers, or they're not paying attention. Open mics are basically for you to hear yourself. You know, the way you pitch it, the way you sell it, you know, your whole everything. Like,
if it's like a brand new bit, I tried doing it.
You just hear it's not for the you're not looking for laughs. And if you make a comic laugh, then okay, it's a really funny joke, you know. But it's mainly I don't know. It's open mics are I think are important. I do them all the time.
See, learning how to do comedy in front of a room full of comics, my ego would not let me walk out of there without laughs. So, but I also wouldn't let myself pander either. So it caused me to work, and if I could get a room full of comics to quit being comics for 5 minutes and listen to me be a comic for 5 minutes, then I felt like that was a good bit, you know. So that's how I started determining what was, and so that's why I still think open mics are good, because comics are going to judge you worse than anybody, because comics want to tear down each other so bad. You know, even if it's in a friendly manner, you know what I mean. You're dissecting one another because you can't watch yourself on stage. So I watch my friends and I'm like, well, this is what I don't like about what he does, and do I do that, and would it make me uncomfortable? You know what I mean? It's kind of a moment of, so it's not, I don't mean in a bad way. You're just breaking down what's going on.
I like that too.
Wait,
I like
did he
watching
talk shit about both of us?
Dude, I know what you're saying. Like looking at a comic and like you see something, you're like, oh shit, do I do that? Okay, that's an interesting thing. Yeah.
So that's why I think open mics are good, because comics are, like I said, they're analyzing, they're breaking you down. It's not always a bad way, you know, but they're listening to everything. And if you can get them to stop analyzing for just 1 second and stop trying to guess your punchline or trick them, they may have, you misled them, and you're like, if I can trick the comic, I can trick the audience. So that was my take on doing open mics. That's why I still do them as much as I can.
That's deep.
That is deep.
Oh, that's good. It seems like, because when you're talking about that, I think, well, then it's just more of that idea of immersing yourself completely in whatever you're doing. And it has to, you have to go to the open mics because that's your opportunity to talk shit and maybe not get laughs or just work on some new stuff without that pressure of it being a paying show or something like that. And also to watch like the greats or whoever's at the top now, like Bill Burr or someone like that. Watch and analyze those things, so you're completely immersed.
Oh, it helps so much. Yeah, just watching those dudes, and you're like, oh, okay, I got to put all my bits together in a chunk. Just little things like that. You see that they do that. It's like a professional like that does. Like, okay, they've got a chunk they're doing. It's not like whenever I first started, a lot of people start out, it's like bit, joke. Did you hear a joke there, joke there? It's not one topic, and I feel like that's where these like headline dudes like him, that one topic shit, and they just squeeze the funny fucking out of it.
Okay,
they get everything out of it, and they get momentum because you're talking about one subject. It's not like a joke.
That's really interesting from my point of view, to listen to about 5 minutes on one, and then at the end of it you realize that whole like
it all makes
the
sense.
last 5 or 10 minutes was about that one thing.
That's the best. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Is that hard though to do? How hard is that to like
time,
extract as much funny from a given subject?
I think it's better. That's the best because you get more momentum with the audience. You get more. It's not like because you're talking about one subject and bouncing around. You get more momentum, and you can just squeeze everything out of it. You get a chunk. You know, you get like a fucking
famous
chunk.
though. It's kind of easier because they're already listening to you. Like you can just be ranting forever, but like when you have their attention, you can just literally just like bam, bam, just like. I don't know. Well,
it's ultimately, as a comic, it's a sales pitch. The funnier you are, the better your sales pitch is.
Yeah.
You know, so the more you relate to your people and the better you connect with them, and the more they're going to come watch you.
Well, I remember like Santino, Andrew was mentioning that he thinks that it's almost harder for the guys that are already established to get like a laugh. Because they do give you that kind of courtesy laugh for like 5 minutes. They'll say, okay, we're here, we're watching, you know, such and such name. But beyond that, unless you're really got some solid material, you might kind of fade out. Is that true? I mean
if people pay to see a big name and they go there, they're gonna love you the whole time. If he was talking about at the
I don't know,
store,
but if they bomb though, it's like, didn't that happen? Who was it? Charlie Sheen. He tried doing that shit. Remember, like when he was like,
he's not
doing
a comic though.
I know. Well,
but he
that's
still
what we're
has
saying.
it.
Just
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who are like famous, just trying to go.
I mean, we won't fight or what?
Yeah, bro. Don't get your LA
this
shit
shit
out of
out
here, man.
Hey, what's up? Shout out to G-Town Angel Mother. It's a real person.
I'm listening. Like you're one listener out there. It's like what?
But no,
One
that,
hiccup away from turning ghetto. What'd you say?
Oh, I've seen it happen. Wait till he gets a couple in him. Oh man,
Oh,
he's starting.
yeah?
We're gonna get a tattoo. What's the zip code here? Like, oh man. You gotta represent.
I'm gonna get High Street on me, dog.
Yeah, I see that.
I didn't go to high school, but went to High Street. Can we get a drink?
No, I'm just kidding. I want to do that. I'm gonna try that.
What?
That bit tonight. I'm gonna try to make that thing. Cause like how cholos are always like, I want to do something about that. How cholos they always put like addresses.
You
and
see how
shit.
that happened right now?
there
we
you
live.
go. There it is. Yep.
Wait, that's why I like we do. Oh man, I love being able to talk to like comics and just you bounce. Road trips are the funnest shit. I gotta say, I love comedy road trips. Having that, you gotta be with someone cool. If you're with a dick, then it's like, oh my god.
I know.
But if you're someone you can just bounce ideas off of, oh my, we in the car listening to like Duncan Sheik or some shit. Like, let's make a music video for this. Okay, so you walk in and I'm like eating pancakes. You're like, what's up? It's wild
We
shit.
were singing 1 week. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. You know that song?
Yeah.
That's a
Chickadee
tough one to
Chinese,
sing.
What is that? Bare naked ladies?
Yeah, bare naked ladies.
I
Yesterday,
listen to weird shit. Where's Ace of Base?
Yeah, we went through a weird phase yesterday. Yeah.
I saw the sun.
And it opened up my eyes. I remember that song went away. Then I saw it. I saw that pop up in like an AM PM commercial, like a gas station commercial. I was like, oh, so that's where they're going. That's what they were probably holding out, like integrity. And it's like, all right, it's been a bit. Fucking let's put this parrot singing, Ace of Base.
Yeah.
That chick was hot. She was hot, right?
I liked her.
Yeah.
I was 9, but I still hit it.
Who was?
I remember she
I
had
was
that
thinking
weird.
Lisa Loeb. That was like
Oh,
the
Lisa
same
Loeb.
time.
Is it?
She was.
You say
Oh,
only
yeah,
hear
that's
what
kinda
I
like
want to.
yeah,
He knows it, man. He's got the
Lisa
juice.
Loeb is the reason.
I like
Box of
karaoke.
90s
Yeah.
pop hits.
That's my nickname,
bro,
Jackpot.
Is it? Is that the? That's the next.
That's my
time.
cholo Jackpot dog.
DJ name, man. Have you ever thought of your own DJ
Yeah, that's
name?
right, guys. The main stage, Joe. Hell yeah. That was my DJ name.
We did some Mighty Boss Stones. That was
Yeah.
fun.
There you go.
That's a song. There's certain songs that you wonder if like, what if you were to, okay, if Bin Laden was still alive, okay, and you were like, hey, I know you want to kill America, but just let me play something for you.
Yeah.
And you
Put all
played
those plans
either
for a second.
Bare Naked Ladies or Mighty Boss Stones, he'd be like, well, they're not that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this, they're having fun. He would be having
He
fun.
would come around.
I saw
Yeah,
the-
you would hear that. And you're like, okay, this is kind of fun.
I
You
saw
can't
the
be
Boss
sad.
Stones actually.
America. No.
Yeah, no.
The best thing about them is I saw them at Ozfest actually.
You saw them in Oslo. That's
Fucking
crazy.
crazy. Just out of nowhere. I was
What's
just
this
like,
song? Never had to knock on wood, right?
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden. Yeah, exactly. I saw him at. No, but Boston, man, of all people, like Dickie's just up there fucking going crazy, man. They fucking loved him. He's the shit, dude. Like
Oh man,
he just lays it down.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was so rad. Yeah.
I saw him at Riot Fest last September in Chicago.
No shit, really? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was
still
that
going,
was
huh?
yeah. They had a huge crowd. I was so excited to see Wu-Tang until I rounded the corner and I couldn't get within about a half mile of the stage, and I was like, I got a better chance to listen to this shit on my phone right now. And Offspring did a great job.
Nice. Fuck
And
yeah.
Slayer, yeah, Riot Fest was killer. So
Where's that? Was that
no, I went to the one in Chicago.
Chicago? Okay. Oh yeah. They had something like that out here just recently, Tempe Beach something, but
It's not the same thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's like,
It's not the fucking same thing.
Come on,
What the fuck are you doing?
Like Wu-Tang, Slayer, and they were all together.
They had I think 8 stages. So they had like major stages where they had Go-Go Bordello, Slayer. What were other big bands that were there? Weezer was there one night.
What?
Yeah, it was
That's
incredible.
awesome,
And it was like a
people.
well, it was
Yeah,
just-
that is. I would love if they all drove there together too.
Carpool.
Yeah, like the RZA and the fucking Slayer. Oh, bro,
Look like this.
and Prime, yeah, right, yeah. And Primus was there too, and that was
Oh, that's
Oh
weird.
fucking
shit.
good to see. So
Oh, no, that is.
You know, it seemed like hard to find because that's how we got on this, right? About finding people that you could bounce ideas and be creative. And not feel competitive, at least directly with. Is that really hard to do? Find interesting people that you can surround yourself with that can help you grow as a comic.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't get competitive with people. Like it's unless he's another chubby guy with poofy hair, then I'm like, all right, motherfucker.
That's my look,
getting in on my territory.
That's my niche. Yeah.
But no, it's so weird. I've never seen it that because I've seen this. There's so many things that comics. There's so many opportunities for success. Everyone should be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? And making it's different for everyone, but everyone should feel that success. You're not gonna not be successful because of that guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, I would have this. I would have everything I wanted if it weren't for that guy who got my parts. Like, no, they're not gonna quit making TV shows. They're not gonna, I don't get competitive like that. You know?
Yeah, it's a theme we always kind of touch on or try to. That there's a lot of stuff out there. You just have,
there's a lot of haters.
Keep pushing, keep working, keep being creative, and there's always gonna there's no one's gonna stop making movies or TV shows.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And in fact, they're proliferating like crazy now because the internet and like Netflix.
There's even more opportunities. Yeah.
So you guys are saying that I shouldn't wait on Kevin James to die?
Or that
Larry. Take him out.
Take him out.
You should do your own Prilosec OTC commercial on a wave runner and just say, I can do it better. See? Hey, guess what?
Who's the guy in Cannonball Run? Does anybody know that guy too? Remember Cannonball Run?
Dom DeLuise. God,
not all fat people look alike, Jack.
Dom DeLuise.
That was good, right? That was good.
I like how you had to figure who's the guy. I knew exactly.
It's funny that your name would run.
I thought you had me nailed for Sheriff Buford T. Justice. I was like, Jesus, dude, I'm not that fat. Come on.
Oh, God.
Tom DeLuise. You know what? Bill Burr was doing a bit about him last week. I was up at the comic strip, and he was like saying this. What was he saying? Oh God, that's what it was. He was talking about like how like if actors flipping out about like losing weight and stuff, and he was like, look at Dom DeLuise, you know, he was a fat guy. He played the fat guy. He was a lead role in one movie. What was it called? Fatso. I was like, oh my God, he's such a goddamn pro, man.
Yeah. So don't change, man.
Yeah, we love
you.
Don't you change a thing? Well, the sleeves. I mean.
Yeah, this is brought to you by Hanes. Please send him a shirt, please.
How do we get on Dom DeLuise? I know you were talking about something, and then
Cannonball Run.
I think you were actually talking about the competition between different creative people and such. So.
Well, especially though out in LA though. I mean, it is the mecca for that though, right? I mean,
you know where I have noticed competition actually? Whenever I go out on the road and it's like my first time headlining, and they set me up with like another dude who just is like, you can tell they want to fucking bury me. You know what I'm saying? It's some dude who's like, I should be headlining, man. Fuck this guy.
Oh, really?
And then it's like. I try to be all cool and everything, but I know it's like, dude, I know what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you're upset with me, but I just, I'm not getting paid a lot, bro. You know, I want to tell him that.
It's like $200 more. That's it.
Yeah, chill it.
Yeah, fuck,
but that guy's probably just, I guess, suppose that he's gonna make it someday. He's just somewhere in the middle at the time, right? You can't always be at the peak. Whatever you're doing. Yeah. So fucking chill, right?
Yeah.
Or do you guys talk to guys that do that kind of thing? But how does that work? Like,
yeah, do you actually acknowledge him and be like, call him out on it?
And I would never do that either. If someone is fucking killing, it's like, I'm not going to be like, hey man, tone it down. Like, that's so stupid. I've heard that a lot of comics do that. Like, I swear to God, dude, there's headliners who they'll give you
there's some
fucking rules,
like,
man.
I don't want to say who, but there's some headliners that are like, yo, listen, don't talk to the crowd. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. That's all I'm going to do.
Are you doing any hair stuff? Like, oh no, you know, whenever you see like another guy.
Another headliner told me, he's like, yo, listen, dude, do whatever you want. Because if I can't follow you, I shouldn't be headlining.
See, I've always felt like, because it's like, I don't know, it's like a pride thing. Like, okay, well, so what? This is why you're here. This is why you got the job for situations like this. If you can't do it, then you don't deserve to have it. You know?
I've always, anytime that I've been the one closing out the show, I've always wanted killers before me because I don't want to be complacent with where I'm at. I always want to feel like I have to improve. And if the guy before me fucking slaughters, then I want to be remembered too. I got to step my shit up. For me,
it forces you. That's the thing. It just makes you work more.
Fuck you. You're gonna bury me. Well, I'm gonna show you, bitch. I'm not gonna be forgotten about. It's just, but that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? In a playful way. I feel like There's comics I work with in Vegas where we'll straight up tell each other, there's going to be no laughs left when you get up. And he'll go up, but it's for the crowd. It's the end result. It's like double teaming a chick. You know what I mean? You're both trying to fuck her the best. You know?
It's brought to you by Lipton.
Yeah. And then the MC's just in the corner jacking off. He's just watching everything.
That's the creeper in the back.
That's awesome.
I just want to watch, guys.
The only time you want the feature to like kill before you is if the headliner is like way drunk and he's like, "Due time, man."
Yeah,
Like,
bro. It's gonna be 20 minutes tonight.
I'm gonna just chill. So.
That's great. What about like? Have you guys had any problems with like joke stealing? Like, have you witnessed that? Like, what are your guys' opinion about the whole Mencia thing? Like all that crazy shit. Like, especially being.
No comment.
I wasn't around in LA. Yeah, I wasn't around.
It was before the time, kind of.
And, yeah, but I guess I don't know what happened there.
No opinion.
He's got a
really?
reputation.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I will say this. I got to see him in Vegas. He came and did the Dirty Show. And he got about a 90-second standing ovation on his intro. And people listened to him for 90 minutes. He murdered for 90 straight minutes.
Really?
And the people in that audience couldn't have given a shit less. Whether he'd stolen jokes in his past. The comics all in the back were like, "Fuck, that's good. Did he really write that?" Everybody else didn't give a shit. So it's interesting.
So he's still going though, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
He used to be my favorite comedian. I like him because he actually, I used to open for him on the road, and he let me borrow his truck to move a couch. So
Really?
he can't be like, fuck that guy, but at the same time,
Forever
hey,
cool
man.
guy.
Yeah, so it's like, when I was working with him, I didn't see any joke thievery or anything like that. I saw he murdered. He's a good ass entertainer and comedian. Like he fucking kills. He's a killer. You know, and I'm talking like not like just, hey guys, I'm just gonna tell some jokes and be. No, he's like bam, 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 bam. But then it really is unfortunate if you're like, oh fuck, was that?
I mean,
Was that real?
Yeah, whenever you hear
makes
down,
you second.
yeah, it's
If
like
the comic steals your joke, the joke wasn't clever enough and it wasn't memorable enough, then it was a garbage joke. So just throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's how, especially if you're a new comic. If something simple and other people are doing it, then get rid of it.
Yeah, there's simple shit that I've seen people fight over the dumbest fucking shit, man. I saw a comic one time go up to another comic and said, "Hey, did you say the word delicious?" And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I say delicious. I say that in my punchline." And they got into a big fucking fight over it, and they were both so unfunny. But it was like they were like, "I say delicious, man. I say delicious."
Or the worst when two comics are fighting over a joke that they both stole from someone
Yeah.
else. I'm like, dude, neither of you guys wrote that joke.
Yeah.
Like, play.
Exactly. I'm telling you, I came up with Asian people can't drive.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, I swear, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy though.
Blacks
Yeah.
are cheap, bro. That's fucking
Yeah, shitty credit.
I didn't know he was still going though. I thought he kind of
Carlos?
just. Yeah, I thought he
Yeah,
kind of.
he's
So he is.
Everywhere.
And he's still
That's like
killing, huh?
an interesting thing to me. Like
Did
the
you
idea
imagine-
of having someone else write jokes for you and then everyone being okay with that. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's the Tonight Show. All these shows on TV, they're
Chris Rock
writers.
did that too, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all writers.
So, cause
Kevin
he's-
Hart's specials, he has writers.
Writers for it.
Like
Yeah,
you say,
yeah.
he's undeniably a killer. He's a good performer.
It's a performer. You're entertaining. You're delivering. It's just,
So what's
it's what
wrong
you
then?
want.
Maybe he is doing that. Maybe he's paying people to write for him and he's performing. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's because I'm trying to think who he hangs out with.
I think
who
it's
writes
Carlos's
for
ghost.
him. Oh, man.
Carlos is here.
Yes, Satan.
Yeah, well, because I mean, I know I listened to Marin's podcast about that, that episode, and he really dived into that and tried to break this thing down and see really was he stealing or whatever, and Marin was just, I think, trying to police. Well, I don't know. I don't think he was trying to. I think he was trying to figure out what
just
was
a great
going
subject
on.
to talk about.
It is.
People
It's just an
talk about it,
interesting. It's just an interesting thing because Marin's thing is just that, like, when you're around, especially like you said, the Comedy Store all the time, you're just hanging out. There's subconsciously you got to be retaining
He
some of
stopped
that
going
shit. You got to just listen to somebody's bit and be like, oh yeah. Well, even if you're just in passing, you're going to be like, oh yeah, talked about fucking a dog or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're going to hear that, and I just wonder like. At some point, have you guys ever like used a joke and known it was somebody else's joke?
No.
Not on purpose, no.
Oh, you
not
know what?
purposely, but like
No,
on
when
accident. Have you
first-
done that?
When you first start, I feel like you are an amalgamation of everything that you've ever soaked in. So you kind of emulate comics when you first start because you don't know. Just like when you play
You're trying
baseball.
to find your voice, yeah.
If you like the way Mark McGuire's stance was, you bet your ass when
You're
the first
gonna-
time you stepped in
you're
that
gonna
field.
try to.
Squatted knees, you had that angle back. And then as you start playing, you're like, oh, this doesn't fit me. That doesn't fit my style. And you start to realize that's why it takes a lot of comics so long to figure out who they really are, is because they spend too much time being other people on stage.
Yeah.
Hurry up and be yourself, and you'll start getting to the meteor act sooner, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of comics, in a way, do bite at first, inadvertently. You don't mean to. You kind of got to shake that shit off at first. But that's just what I've seen and experienced.
Right. Well, I know, like, especially from coming from the Texas area, like, does the Bill Hicks thing still, like the persona of still trying to be Bill Hicks, like, is that still out there?
In Austin, I feel like it's really big.
Still, really?
Yeah. And, there's always those dudes. You see him, and they're like, oh, man, this guy's one of these cool. He's like, sees himself as like a Hunter S. Thompson kind of guy. Like, I'm just cool.
Yeah. Just the oddball. Yeah.
You know what? Me and my buddy, I took a joke one time. I might have done it twice, but here's the situation. I was with my best friend, Anthony Perez. We started out together, and I had this gig where I had to pull like 30 minutes, and I didn't have it. So I'm like, dude, can I do your joke? And he's like, okay. But here's what happened. He's a mechanic. Okay? Like, he does car jokes, and I don't know that shit. But I remember I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do his closer because I haven't gotten the light, so I got to just fill some time. So I remember I was like, so, I work on a lot of cars, and right then I was like, oh, you're so fucked, Dustin. I was like, I work on a lot of cars, and the other day, I had to go change some oil, so I told my cousin to pick up some spark plugs and this and that, and I told him to pick up blinker fluid. And he gets there, and he calls me. He's like, everybody at O'Reilly's is laughing at me. They say they don't have blinker fluid. They got to go to AutoZone or something like that. And I remember doing it, and it was so horrible. And just like the audience was like, they knew that wasn't. They were like, what the fuck just happened, man?
Yeah, where'd this guy go?
That's got to feel weird coming out. Like, you have to finish the joke, right? You
got in those, like, those first road gigs in Texas, I remember, were so... Because I got him, but I didn't have the time. I had maybe 20, maybe 15 minutes. And it's funny, each place you go to, you lose time. When I moved to New York, I thought I had 45. Then it shrinks to 5 fucking minutes, Dude, it was insane. I remember just having to pull off time and I would run out of material, and I would straight up just look at the audience and be like, so what are you up to? What do you do? So what'd you do today, man? That's and you're just there, and it's like, I gotta stay up here. This is fucking horrible.
Yeah. But is it because you think you have 45 minutes, and then you realize none of that's really that good? Is that what it is? You just start to
kind of. I feel like that's what
25 decent minutes.
Yeah, and a lot of things that new comics do is they're like, you ask them how much material they got. It's always, I can do an hour or two. Yeah, it's always half the time they're like, man,
shit's crazy out here, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
8.5.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. They buy time with saying crazy, and
then they fight over it. They're like, hey, man, I say that's crazy on stage. Man, that's crazy. I say that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Then Mencia's like, that's crazy. No.
Beaver. Oh, man. The thing about how much material, because guys will say that, and then they say the same thing, I only have 20, but I can do 40. I'm like,
that's all.
20.
Yeah, you guys having a good time? You ready to rock?
It's so funny. I'm comfortable now. I just got comfortable doing an hour because I had to do colleges last year, and you got to do an hour, So I just got into that not freaking out mode. But it's so funny. That's a great thing about comedy. There's always another level, because when you MC, you're like, oh shit, now I gotta do 10 minutes. Then you feature, and you're like, oh shit, now I gotta do 30 minutes. And then you headline, it's like, I gotta do 40. This is impossible, man.
But that's good, right? To feel the pressure.
That's the evolution of it.
It makes you work, and you gotta do it. You gotta do your job. Any other job fucking has shit like that. You just gotta.
Yeah, and this is a job where you just talk to people for an hour. I mean, whatever, it's a job. You got to be funny. It's
quit simplifying it. You're all over there like, look at you fuckers. Yeah.
We have to hang out after the show. We talk to a bunch of girls and drink with them. I can't do that.
Sometimes people give you drugs. It's horrible.
Yeah, dude. Last night is freaking. What was it? Oh my God! There was a swinger couple.
Really?
Wanted me to bang his wife.
Dude, no shit. Out here,
I
can see that.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
He's got still people or what?
Okay. I'm like, what's okay? I'm like, she's not my type.
That happened.
You're my type.
Yeah. With Seton Smith, we're hanging out at the front after the show, and this chick was hammered, and she was obnoxious, horribly obnoxious. And then it turned he just stood up. Seton just stood up and was like, I'm not swinging with you guys. Get out of here. She just got up and just walked of shame to the door and was yelling drunk shit as she walked up. It's
great.
Yeah.
This area is
weird.
It's weird, man.
This is, oh man,
It's
what
such a
goes on
bizarre-
behind closed doors?
That's right,
here,
guys.
man?
We're here at the House of Comedy. Swingers.
That's what it is, though. It's the cougar vibe from the Scottsdale people. It's just like, it's some weird shit that goes on.
I can't
around
wait
here,
for
man.
tonight's show.
I did a
I'm excited
swingers
about
gig
tonight.
one time when I first started.
What?
Yeah,
You banged the dude?
No, I just did the gig, the swingers gig, and it was like freaking.
Explain more, because you sound like you just.
I had to. No, it was a comedy show, and then afterwards, everyone fucked. You know, like literally right in front of everyone else. Like,
Did you watch it?
yeah, here's that because I was like this horny 17, 18-year-old kid, and I'm in there.
That's a pedophile.
Yeah, dude, I'm walking around, and first off, I do my material. Then they have this like it's these chicks, that pussy eating contest on stage. They had these chicks go out eating each other out, and then
Why don't we do that?
so my mind is like exploding. And I'm like, I remember they had hot dogs there, and I was like eating a hot dog and just walking around. Like, people would be fucking in this room, you peeking, like, oh, that's cool. You know, and hang out for a little bit, you know, and go to another room. And I guess someone complained. And they were like, hey, we're trying to run a professional place. And I'm like, whatever. I took it.
I would have walked around with a bun in my dick and
Oh, man.
do you want a hot dog?
I would have been like, oh, damn it, I better have a roll.
Was there different themes in different rooms, or was it just like one giant thing?
It was, you know what it was, man? It was like an underground fucking thing in the worst area in Dallas. But it was like all the richest high society people, and you're just in this underground. It felt very like some Illuminati shit, bro. You're like walking around.
Eyes wide shut.
Eyes wide shut, yeah, that's what it felt like, man. And who books a comedy show for that shit, by the way? That's like a
right.
Who was the guy?
Jokes.
Yeah, you know what people need after all this fucking or before it? Stand-up comedy. Like, it's like, no.
Sets the mood, man.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I can only imagine that.
Oh, it was so wacky. And it was like, yeah, different rooms had different themes. Like, you would, it was like one was pretty shitty. One, there was just like a couple of mattresses on the ground and like a couch. And I remember I sat on the couch and we were watching these people fuck. I'm like, yeah, nice. It was pretty perverted.
Were any of them decent? I would imagine, but were they all?
Damn, you know what? That's
the
funny.
guys or girls?
It doesn't both. I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of ones that aren't, so you know who the hot ones are, and you don't want to look like a fucking. So you don't want to like go strictly to them. So you're like, I'll watch these
straight to the
ugly
hot
people
ones.
fuck. I don't want them to film it. Yeah, I'll watch them fuck. Yeah.
Watching shitty porn. I already started.
Yeah, it's like, I'll watch them. Man.
I just want to know if you thought you were getting a round of applause or if it was just a bunch of old balls. Wrap it up. We're not, you know.
Man. Oh, and you know what happened? I did a show at the Improv a few weeks later, and these old couple came up, and they were like, "Hey," and I didn't know them, and they're like, "The thing," and I'm like, "Ah,
Don't touch my hand.
yeah, you old bastard."
You secretly became part of their society, man.
They all know me. That's what.
Awesome.
Oh man, damn it! How do I get back in there, guys?
I don't know.
Lose 30 pounds.
I know, damn it.
It's weird. Is that like? That's not a common thing for any of you guys, right? To do weird ass shows like that.
No, that's like a once in a
I've performed at a
lifetime.
strip club before.
No, not swingers. I don't mean that strange, but just someone has a wacky idea. Hey, we should have a comic here too. Because I've seen. I was in LA once, and it was this weird like, you know where the Wacko bookstore is? It's called Wacko Emporium. It's like right by some strip club. I can't. It's called Soap Plant or something like that. It's fucking like right on Hollywood Boulevard. And it's a bookstore / art gallery. It's weird. And then they had an opening of some sort. Someone was showing their work. And then they had a comic there, just standing in the middle of the room without a mic doing comedy. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? What's going on here? And then they had another guy get up. So that I started to think then about like, is this like a normal thing? They just bring in so-called entertainers and stick them places. And it sounds like that's what like, hey, it's a swingers thing. Let's have a guy.
They actually had a stage though, so that they had a pretty good lights and sound. And I was like, fuck, okay.
It was like a production then.
I did a weird show. I did a show at the DMV. It wasn't a real show. Like I was waiting in line for so long, and everyone just pissed off. I said, record me real quick to my buddy, and he's like, all right. So I just went up like, hey guys, what's going on? How you guys doing? And then I just did like 2 minutes till security grabbed me and kicked me out. I had a number.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at the DMV, no one understands English.
Yeah,
so they probably weren't getting the Jokes.
I've always wanted to do kamikaze comedy. Just go into certain places with a little like pigtail amp and a microphone and just start doing crowd work right when you walk in. Just random, like do it at the clinic. Like, so what are you in for? And just make it really awkward. I think that would be so much fun doing it different places.
I want to do a comedy show where you also do like a Russian roulette thing, you know? So one of them will die. You know?
I love the conviction in that someone will die.
You would have to get I would book a lot of bringer dudes. A lot of like, you got to bring 10 people. It might be the last time they see you.
That's we guys here.
I like it. So where are we at in time, man? We about an hour in?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hour and 4.
Well, so what's coming up? What's coming up for you guys? Plug away.
Okay, well, I'm here this weekend.
You won't get any of those people.
TED 2. I'm going to be in that. I got a small part in that.
Nice,
so
man.
That'll be pretty cool. That comes out in like December, I think, or July. But yeah, that'll be fun. I got to work with little fake teddy bear, so it was fun.
Yeah.
That's it right now.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I plug the podcast that I'm?
Do it, man.
I do a podcast with a comedian named Gooch called Rise to Offend.
Gooch.
It's a really fun podcast. We've had a bunch of porn stars through there, Sophia Locke, people like that. We offer it out to pretty much anybody that comes through. We like interviewing all kinds of folks. It's called Rise to Offend. Other than that, just look me up on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, Bobby Wayne S. Or on Twitter, it's Fun Bob Fat Pants.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I'm at the Ontario Improv in California, May 5th and 6th for Cinco de Mayo, and then I'll be in Vegas, I think, at the Stratosphere, at the LA Comedy Club, right? LA Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Stratosphere Memorial Day weekend.
Nice. You're going to be at the Ontario one?
Ontario Improv.
That's the fucking mall, the mall gig. Oh, it's such a weird venue. Such a weird place. But I guess this isn't much better. No, this one is, but like the strip is just kind of bizarre. Like, for sure. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
really
us.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Seriously.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Gents.
Cool.
Was the pussy eating competition? Was that before?
Yeah, my man.
It was after, because I don't think that would have been tough to follow. Yeah.